Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
So recently we kicked off one of our biggest projects ever, Fresh Jobs. Now, this is an online portal providing young people with access to information they need to gain and retain employment, which is including career guidance, advice from industry experts, and resume templates.
So today we're chatting to the CEO of South Australia's leading aged care and retirement living providers, Jane Pickering from Eldercare. Eldercare is one of South Australia's largest and most experienced not-for-profit aged care providers and has been caring for older South Australians since 1959.
And Eldercare staff are vital in delivering peace of mind to their residents. With Labor winning the election, this will absolutely impact the future of employment opportunities in the aged care sector. So we're joined by CEO of Eldercare, Jane Pickering, to tell us more. Good morning, Jane.
Good morning.
So, Jane, can you tell us a little bit about Eldercare?
Sure. So, as Tom and Callum have just said, we're one of the bigger aged care providers in South Australia. So we have 11 nursing homes, 1,000 residents and about 1,700 staff.
Wow. Gosh, that's huge, isn't it?
It is a big organisation.
Amazing.
Now, Jane, what are some of the current employment opportunities and what are the different roles available?
So we have a range of people that work in different roles across Eldercare. I think most people that think about aged care immediately think of nurses and carers and cleaners, but we have all sorts of positions. At the moment, we've got chefs, for example.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have a chef manager available at one of our sites, chefs at multiple sites, always looking for good registered nurses, of course, enrolled nurses as well. We've got payroll officers vacant at the moment. We need a payroll officer. We have human resources business partner, a consultant that we're looking for internally for human resources area. And we always have positions for hospitality staff, so cleaners, kitchen hands, people to help serve meals, etc. But we do have, there's a lot of positions at Eldercare. We have architects, we have project officers, finance people, a real policy officers, compliance people, a range of different positions.
I think it would be amazing, even not doing, necessarily the nursing or caring role, but if you are sort of that person that is contributing in some sort of way, it would be rewarding.
Absolutely. And we make it really clear to all our people that aren't involved in the direct frontline care or the hands-on care that their job is to facilitate the staff that are doing the care to do their job.
Yeah, amazing.
So everybody in our head office knows that their job may be payroll, it might be accounts payable, but actually what they're doing is making it easy for the people at the front line to do their jobs.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great.
Speaking of how diverse all the positions are and how rewarding it can be, what are the type of people you're looking for that would benefit from working at Eldercare?
Look, I think because of the range of roles we have, there is one or two defining features that we always look for in our staff. And of course, the most important thing is that they match our values. Their values match our values. And the main value that we have is respect.
Yeah.
So of course, we are looking for people that are respectful. And we find out that during our recruitment process. So we have a process that draws out the values of the people. And that's what we're looking for.
Amazing.
So what's the recruitment process like?
So it starts with, of course, an application online, and there is a questionnaire that is a values-based questionnaire.
So where can they find that online?
That's it's eldercare.net.au.
Simple.
Easy.
Easy as.
Easy as, and go to the careers section and you'll find information about all the positions available and you can apply online. And it does divert you to a special online recruitment program and you fill out a questionnaire. That does the first filter. If you're clearly don't have the values that match Eldercare, that'll pick it up in the first questionnaire. And then there's a range of processes including interviews and then pre-employment functional capacity tests, and also for some positions you also have to do some competency testing before you can get through.
Jane, what are some of the benefits of working at Eldercare?
Well, it's a great place to to start with, and you're doing, as Davo said, some fabulous work that is a real privilege, I think, to be able to work with the older people that have helped us for so many years. So number one, it's the work, and it is tough work, it is hard work, but it's incredibly rewarding. We also have a range of benefits. Because we're a charity, you get the top level of salary sacrifice, which is worth about $8,000 reduced tax each year. We also have a really good employment assistance program, which provides good counselling and support. We're also White Ribbon accredited, so
Amazing.
anybody that's involved or is a victim of domestic violence, we have a really strong support program in place to keep people at work.
That's amazing.
We're also Rainbow Tick accredited,
Oh,
Amazing.
which
Beautiful.
means that we're welcoming to anybody from a diverse background, including people from the LGBTIQ plus community.
I really
Amazing.
liked what you said before about when you're working for Eldercare. It is a privilege to look after these elderly people. Like, a lot of people can dismiss the older generation, which is ridiculous because they have set the pathway here. But I just really like that you said it is a privilege to look after these people.
It is, and I think if you start working with older people, you realise how amazing they are.
Yeah.
And you take the time to listen to them and hear their stories and what they've done in their lives. They're really interesting. Sometimes they can be a little bit annoying, but,
Yeah, of
but
course.
generally they are very interesting, and our staff love them.
Oh, look, I'd love for someone to listen to me. I'm sure when I'm older, like sitting around telling all my tales, you know.
Yeah.
Now this sounds amazing to work at, but there are also volunteer opportunities. Can you tell us about that?
There is as well. So we have about nearly 400 volunteers working for Eldercare. And again, they work in all sorts of roles, from spending time sitting, talking to residents, reading to them, walking them, listening to their stories, writing their life stories. We have a program where volunteers sit and listen to our residents and write stories.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Fresh 92.7 presents Resumaybe, kickstarting your career with fresh jobs.
Okay, so basically the way this is going to work, Jane, is going to read out a skill that only one of us has. We need to convince you that all of us are telling the truth. You just have to pick which one's telling the truth. Two of us will be lying. There'll be two rats among us. You're allowed to ask one follow-up question as well to really pry and deeper. So do you want to read out the skill?
All right, this is a really interesting skill. One of you can recite any airport code from around the world.
All right, well, I'll start. I'll go ahead. I used to do some aviation training back in year 12. I was interested in doing it for a career, so I learned a bunch of all different airports and their codes and stuff and all that different kind of stuff. I never finished it, never got my pilot's license, but I do have that memory still retained.
Okay, all right.
Feel free to ask him where he got the aviation training if you really want to stump him.
So, Tom, where did you get the aviation training from?
Just down the airport.
Nice.
Okay,
Now
of
I
course.
worked at a flight simulator, like those jet planes you can fly and it simulates how to be a pilot. There's one in the city in Grenfell Street, but I used to work there for a little bit, did a few shifts, so naturally it would come up with the airport codes because I'd have to fly there as a part of the simulation.
Clever
Okay.
boy.
Yeah.
All right. When do I get to ask the question?
Oh, you can ask a question now.
Okay, so Callum, if you know all of the airport codes, it
Yeah.
means you would know all the cities in the world.
Of course.
Yeah. So, tell me, what's the capital of Serbia?
Serbia. Oh God. No.
Let's make it
no,
easier,
no,
Callum.
I know
What's
it.
the airport code?
Yeah, what's the airport code?
Is it Belgrade? Is it Belgrade? Is it BEL?
It is. It is.
Yes.
Well done.
Amazing.
Amazing.
So before I was a radio host, I was a travel agent. I was a travel agent for 9 years. So booking flights was all coding. And I guess obviously naturally when you're sending people to London Heathrow or Charles de Gaulle, you seem to know the codes.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's pretty obvious to me.
Who do you think
who's
is
telling
telling
the
the
truth?
truth?
I think Davo is definitely telling the truth.
That's correct. Congratulations, Jane.
I don't think we have the professionalism to sit down at a desk and do flight centre stuff. I
Absolutely
wouldn't pick that for
not.
ourselves.
Somehow, maybe not.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Jane. For more information and a full list of current employment opportunities, visit eldercare.net.au. You've been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you so
Jen.
much.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.